Hi, I'm Jason from AutoPot. I'm now going to show you how to set up the easy2grow kit. First of all, I'll take it out of the newly designed box. Comes with a tank lid, a 47 litre tank with a hole, a 12mm hole at the bottom where the grommet's going to be inserted, and two 8.5 litre pots, a tray and a lid, and all the connections, aqua valve and fittings, and I'll show you how to set it up next. The accessories that are supplied with the easy2grow kit are as follows: 1.5 metres of 9mm pipe. You can always tell if it's authentic pipe because AutoPot has the URL engraved on the side of the pipe. 2 square root control socks that go on the outside bottom of the pots. 2 Marix discs that go inside the pot to stop the substrate or media or soil falling out. 1 9mm top hat grommet, 1 9mm inline tap, 1 9mm golf filter, and finally your AquaValve 5. I'll show you how to set up the system next. I'm now going to show you how to insert the 9mm top hat grommet into the hole at the bottom of the tank. So push it all the way in from the outside in. Then take your 9mm pipe, wet the end of it if it's soft so it hardens it up, or put a smidge of washing up detergent on the end to help it slide through. I push the pipe so that it's around 1 inch or 2 inside the tank. And then next I'll get the golf filter, which can be unclipped and cleaned when necessary, and that simply goes inside the pipe that's inside the tank, like so. And then what I'll do, I'll pull the pipe back through, and that'll lock the golf filter inside the grommet, creating a watertight seal, like so. Then I'll take a pair of scissors. I'll cut probably around 5-6 inches after the tank so I can insert my 9mm inline tap. Always have the tap in the off position, and you can see by the droplet it's across the pipe, which means it's in the off position. If I turn it either that way or that way, it's in the on position. So for the purpose, I'll just turn it in the off position for the minute and then press to lock into place. And that's how to set up the pipe work connecting to your tank. So now I'm going to set up the aqua valve and the pots. So first thing, I'd take the end of the 9mm pipe and connect it to the aqua valve. When you first get the aqua valve, ensure that you have a silicone in the top float making a parallel seal on the hole below, and a silicone in the bottom float that cuts off the incoming water. So first of all, I'll remove the collar. I'll thread the collar over the end of the 9mm pipe, and then I'll connect the pipe to the aqua valve nozzle. And then I'll push the collar back onto the aqua valve, and when you feel it grip, stop. Don't over tighten that section there, it's not necessary. Then I'm going to find the half moon at the bottom of the aqua valve and the T section in the tray. I then take the aqua valve, locate the half moon over the T and push firmly on the grey body only down onto the T section. Then I take the pipe at the front end and push that into the channel where the pipe enters the tray. So that aqua valve is now connected to the tray. The next thing I'll do is take my pots and I'll place the square root control sock over the bottom of the pot. This is to prevent roots leaving the pot and getting tangled into the tray. So that's one square root control sock on the base of the first pot. I'll now put the second one on. Slide all the way up the side of the pot and they'll grip, and that's the second root control sock on the base of the pot. Put that in the pot, and then I have two thin black Marix discs. I literally drop each one in the pot and that stops soil from falling out. Then place my lid over the top of the aqua valve and the system is now set up. I'll now show you how to use your system once you've set it up and it's all ready to be filled up, the reservoir. Once you've set your easy2grow system up, it's very easy. It's just a traditional way of potting up plants. So what you can do, you can put gravel, washed gravel at the bottom, but I will also show you some additional accessories that you can use after this section of the video. So fill your plant up with the correct type of media or substrate or soil. Make sure it's nice and open. Have a look at the AutoPot website or brochure and it gives you an indication of the type of blends of soil that we recommend. I recommend a very open, free draining, air retentive substrate. So if you think of one end of the spectrum peat and the other end of the spectrum perlite, obviously if you blend those two together you get a much more open substrate. So fill up your pot, put a nicely established plant into the pot and then water the plant away from the tray, water it through and allow it to drain for around half an hour. Repeat that with the other pot and then place in the tray. It's not necessary now to turn on the system straight away because there's lots of moisture in that 8.5 litres of soil. So in the early days, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks, depending on the weather outside in your greenhouse, you can turn the tap on for an hour and then turn it off for 3-4 days. Feel the weight of the pot. If there's plenty of weight in the pot in the early stages, then don't turn the system on. Make the root system work for the moisture and the feed that's probably already in the soil or the compost and let the plant develop naturally. Don't overwater it, it's not necessary. Once you're happy that the plant's developed properly, then you can turn the tap on continually. I'll next show you, discuss about how to fill up the tank. It's a 47 litre reservoir. Fill it up with water and you can use the easy2grow liquid fertilizer or you can use the source fertilizer. Fill it all the way up, right amount of feed. You can pH stabilize if you want to, and I would always recommend that you should always raise the tank to at least 6 inches off the floor to ensure that the gravity fall always gets to the aqua valve. When the tank gets to around 1/3 full, fill it back up again. So don't let the tank get too low and always turn the tap off when you're filling up the tank, because when you fill the tank up, you'll agitate any salt drop out that rests in the bottom of the tank and you could pull it through the pipes. So turn off the tap, fill up your reservoir, put the new fertilizer in there, pH stabilize if necessary, mix it up and then allow the tank to settle for around half an hour, then turn the tap on. Once you've purchased your easy2grow system, we advise that you can, from this size tank only, add another 2 more modules or a total of 6 pots. You can lay them out this way and they would just all be connected via pipework and T connections that you would get with the easy2grow extension kits. You can lay them out in this configuration. You can also lay them out end on end like so, depending on the layout for your greenhouse. So really is entirely up to the grower but a maximum of 6 plants using this 47 litre tank. If you want to have more modules, then you need to increase the size of your tank and consider using hosepipe size pipe as the main feed from your reservoir and reducing down to the 9mm pipe at each module. So I'm just going to show you some optional extras that you can have with your Easy2grow. So the first one is the airbase square, and it comes with a detachable circular insert. What this is designed for is to avoid the use of either clay pebbles, which are generally very alkali and need to be pre-treated before use. Ideally, if you are using clay pebbles, pre-soak them in a solution of around 5.0 to 5.5 with a quarter strength of feed solution for at least 48 hours. Tip off the solution, don't wash them off, and then put them in the tray. Alternatively, if you don't want to do this, you can buy yourself an air base, which is simply dropped in the base of the pot. It's 30mm deep. You put a little bit of soil in there, shake the soil so it drops down the holes. There's no need to press the holes, and then that acts as a sort of flood drain for the old crocs as we grew up when we were younger. The other option to use the air base is with the air dome. So you will take out the centre, take your air dome, thread the air dome from underneath, and you'll see there's a little channel for the pipe work to go there. Then simply drop your air base in the tray, or your air base and your air dome in the base of the tray, and there you have an additional extra for that. What that air dome will do will increase growth rate. So if you are using the air dome with the air base or the air dome by itself, make sure that you use a nice free draining substrate above. Don't use 100% peat or 100% cocoa, because all that will happen, the air won't be able to perforate up through the media. It'll get stuck in the bottom of the pot, and you'll end up getting bubbles leaving the pot and bubbling around the aqua valve. So always have a very open substrate, such as 50% soil, 50% perlite, or 50% soil and 50% clay pebbles, but just a very nice open substrate. The other option, or additional extra, is the 8.5 litre pot divider. So it comes with a base that's similar to the air base and 2 walls. So the wall slides from left to right or right to left, doesn't really matter. You slide that like so. Place the additional wall down there. You've now got yourself a divider. That simply drops in the pot, and now you've subdivided that 8.5 litre pot into 4. What you can do is you can take a cutting, put your cutting in there, water it through outside the pot as I've previously explained, and then let the cuttings grow, and then once they've established, you can then lift the pot divider up, take that cell out, and then put it in your final pot. Another option is to use a propagation dome. You can place it over the pot. This also fits the 15 litre pot. Put plants in there, either in your pot divider, or once you put a single plant in there, you can put this over there. It keeps the microenvironment around the plant. You haven't got intense sunshine or hot lights blaring above an exposed plant. You keep the microenvironment around there. You can always just lightly dampen the surface of the soil just to keep the microenvironment and the moisture rising up into the plant, because when you've got a small plant, you want to keep a high relative humidity. As the plant develops, you can gradually open this vent on the lid. Once it's fully open, the plant's developed and filled this propagation dome, you can take the dome off. The final other options, you can also use the Easy2grow trays with 15 litre pots. So it's the same footprint. So I believe on the online shop they're called Easy2grow large. So if you want to grow bigger plants, bigger pots, then you have the option to be able to do so. So those are the additional accessories that are available with the Easy2grow.